Hi, everybody. This is Dr. G, and I'm with my friend today, Jay Lamini, licensed acupuncturist. And today we're going to be talking about how to stay healthy and well during the coronavirus situation. So, what's happening right now is that we're seeing a lot of people under quarantine.
Yes.
They're out of their normal routines, staying healthy, fit, and active. And we want to go over a bunch of different topics on what people can be doing at home during the quarantine.
Yeah. I know a lot of gyms are offering options to do like virtual fitness. Like I think Planet Fitness, Orange Theory, those are two gyms that I know of are definitely offering virtual fitness classes because the gyms are not available to the people. And I think it's great that everyone is, adhering to these social guidelines, keeping everyone separated, but taking part in those type of activities I think is great for the mental health because we don't want, too much of cabin fever going on.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about staying active and fit at home. So,
Yeah.
like you were just saying, how the major gyms are offering fitness programs online, probably through their web portal.
Yeah.
Okay, but there are a lot of different apps, free apps,
Yes.
and what I've been using personally for years is free YouTubes.
Yeah.
There are so many fitness professionals that, if you have whatever equipment you have home, even if you have nothing at
Yeah.
home, just your own body weight and vigorous activity with certain movement steps, even dancing and Zumba at home
Yes.
is really a great option for people to stay fit and active and pass the time.
Yeah. And everyone, I feel like this is a great opportunity for people to use all those gadgets that they buy, like the at home workouts, and they're just under the bed. Now's a chance to use them. And it's like, it gives you an opportunity to take advantage of some personal time and focus on your health at the same time. And, get your heart rate going even though we're in the house.
Most of us have Fitbits. If we don't, usually our
Yeah.
mobile phones have some sort of activity tracker and counter. It may not get your exact heart rate just having your phone in your pocket, but it will track your activity.
Yeah.
A lot of us, though, do have Apple Watches, Fitbits, and other wearable devices on our wrist, which will keep
Garmin
our
and
heart
such. Yeah.
heart rate going. So I know we're watching at our statistics right now and watching them go down as we're at home
Yeah.
trying to do things around the house, but seeing it's not accounting for very much activity.
Yeah.
And so to pop on a program, software, or an app is a really helpful way to get more activity in so you can keep your daily count going.
Yeah, and I have a few friends that they've been like doing at-home workouts with each other on FaceTime. So
Yeah?
so it's like you're working out alone because sometimes working out alone you get discouraged, but you FaceTime or video chat or Google Hangouts, and you can maybe both do a video or I think even Netflix has like a way to get people to watch shows together. So if you're into fitness shows or into any show, you can watch it together with people from a distance, and then in that way you're not feeling so lazy or sad about working out alone.
What I've been seeing, so aside from the recreational physical activity, those who are not getting their rehab, I've seen a
Yes.
lot of physical therapy and rehab places are still giving their patients at home activities and
Yeah.
exercises they can be doing.
Yeah.
So if you are missing your rehab, or maybe you lost a printout from your physical therapist of
Yeah.
the rehab you could be doing, I would strongly urge you to call, email the office and ask them if they have any plans available.
Yeah.
I know down the block from us right now at the physical therapy office, they're actually promoting and posting, even though you can't come in during the quarantine, we already have your custom made plan available for you. So they're already emailing them out to their patients.
That's awesome. Yeah, and usually people are working when they're not going to PT, but now they're home, so they can actually focus on their PT, which I think that's one benefit of this quarantine situation, because the PT is so important. A friend of mine, her son recently broke his arm, and this is an example that usually he'd be in school. Kids are in school; they're not focusing on the PT that they should be doing, but now he's home and he can focus on it and make it a part of his schedule so that he's recovering at the right rate.
So what we see in the clinic a lot of times, not during quarantine, is lack of activity
Yeah,
by a lot of patients, and they're under some sort of rehab care like us.
yeah,
And what's happening is they go to work, they come home, they hit the couch, they're exhausted, they're not getting their exercise in. And so commonly, not during a quarantine, we see people not being active,
Yeah.
and they're having pain because of it. So during this quarantine right now with COVID-19, is we're going to see lack of activity and increased pain because of it.
Yes.
And so it's more urgent now than ever to stay active and fit and on some sort of program. And if you do have an injury or something, then maybe the average protocol that you're getting online or the activity plan you're getting may not include you exactly. So then you can do some more research. And if you have a shoulder injury,
Yeah.
what kind of exercise you could be doing. And you can always modify a YouTube, or you can modify a general activity. If your body's saying, don't do an exercise, don't do an activity, listen to your body.
Yes.
Don't try and push through it,
Yes.
because unfortunately we are stuck at home now. And that
There'll be limited
if you
support.
injure it and have more pain, you may not then be able to address it.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we always let patients know. We don't encourage them to stop going to the gym. Work within your limitations. Like, listen to your body. Don't push yourself beyond a point of comfort. You don't want to aggressively work out and then re-injure the area. So, definitely take your PT's recommendations and, work out within your limit. That's always our recommendation.
So staying active but being smart about it.
Yes.
We may have a lot of free time. That doesn't mean do triple the workouts.
Right. Exactly. That's so important. You don't want to overdo it, but still stay active so that that sedentary lifestyle doesn't set in and then cause, atrophy or pain or all kinds of issues that may arise from being still too long.
So we talked about the physical rehab section
Yeah.
of why it's important to active. Let's talk about the mental component. Talk about our spirits, our mind, our mindsets during being stuck at home. Now, this definitely affects people with feeling lonely, sad, depressed,
Yeah.
anxious.
Yeah.
The fear of the unknown starts to come in, worrying about your family, even your pets.
Yeah.
So by doing these exercises, by staying active and keeping your heart rate up, it also lifts your mindset and your spirits.
Yes. Working out, you release those positive endorphins. You feel great. You get an adrenaline boost. You feel great. It's definitely an integral part to maintaining health, working out. I mean, it's necessary, and we definitely recommend it, just not beyond your normal limitations.
Also, being stuck at home now, it affects how our metabolism is and our diet.
Yeah.
Some people not doing a lot of activity makes them feel extra hungry. Feeling bored sometimes sets in, or the stress.
Yeah.
And then so by being stuck at home during the quarantine, we might feel like we need to put in more calories.
Snacking.
We have to be careful with that snacking. The one thing that exercise and physical activity does at home, even like cardio at home, is it keeps the hunger at bay.
Yeah, because we're stocking up on all these on all our essentials, and then we'll end up snacking on all our essentials if we're just sitting at home doing nothing. So definitely working out and being mindful of that. Don't sit at home and eat up all your munchies. Save a little bit and definitely be smart about it. Keep active. Maybe finish up some homework. Not homework, but things around the house that you want to get done.
Start the spring cleaning early, right?
A lot of my friends are saying that they're starting spring cleaning early, and where can they send donations and things like that, because everyone gets rid of stuff around this time of year. But definitely keep active in a healthy way and try to take care of little home projects that maybe you have the supplies for but you just never got around to because you've been busy working or exhausted from work. Everyone has a list to do, all the honey-do lists and stuff. So I think those are good ways to stay mentally healthy, physically healthy, and maybe we can talk about different supplements that people could be taking.
I was just about to get there with you, because now we talked about metabolism, staying active, but we just came out of winter in the Northeast over here, and so we're already lacking in sunshine and daylight.
Yeah.
And now we're being told to keep indoors for our safety.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Except now that we're not getting our sunshine, our sun on us, giving us our vitamin D.
Yeah. But when it comes to taking vitamin D, we all know that we can take supplements. I think it's important that people understand that vitamin D3 is the best form of D for us to take, and then making sure that you're also taking a vitamin D supplement or a multivitamin that also has magnesium. If you're not taking magnesium with the D3, you're not going to be able to absorb the D3 or put it to use, and it's not.
Well, let's backtrack on the vitamins, because
Sure.
right now everyone's in quarantine, right?
Yeah.
We have very limited access to supplies.
Yeah.
And we might be worried about getting our nutrition in, and so we might be scrounging around to figure out what should we be taking as supplements. We might have whatever we have at home.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't try, even though we're stocking up on essentials for the home, we should not be adding extra vitamins into our body.
Right.
We should be taking what it recommends to take on the back of the bottle.
Right.
So
right.
if that's your multivitamin plus and if you're taking an external calcium from that, if you're taking some extra magnesium on top of that, that's fine.
Right.
We might think immune system and vitamin C, let me take a couple thousand milligrams of vitamin C. And that's a really good thought to have. But just be careful of the stomach upset. It's
Yeah.
very acidic.
Yeah.
It often causes the diarrhea associated with some of the symptoms with the COVID-19, and that
Yeah.
might lead you into a further panic.
Yeah, absolutely. Because more, I mean, people think, oh, my immune system, I want to boost up my immune system. Let me take more vitamin C. More vitamin C is not always the option, not always the best option. You want to be able to absorb it, you know. So, more vitamin C, larger doses can lead to, like you said, this upset stomach, even diarrhea in worst cases. So you don't want to, take a surplus of vitamin C. You want to take your recommended dosage, but make sure that you're taking it. Listen to, the vitamin label. It'll tell you. And definitely don't overdo it, but definitely including it in your diet is definitely the solution.
So if you've taken supplements before and you respond really well to them, then chances are you're going to be okay to take them still.
Yeah.
If you have new supplements at home that you've never tried before, really be careful with it. Be careful adding them into your current supplement rotation. Always the safest bet, and some people are taking prescription medications at the same time.
Yeah.
The safest bet is if you're putting supplements and pharmaceuticals and new foods and new supplements into your body, is that between each new thing or different supplement you're putting into your body, leave a 2 to 3 hour space.
Yes.
So that way they don't interact with each other, and that way you can see what is impacting your body directly. And if you're resonating with that, if it's adding energy to your body, if you're responding well to it, versus if you're feeling kind of upset by it or some indigestion from it.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful with that. Now that we have a lot of time on our hands at home, sometimes doing just the right amount is better than doing too much.
Yeah, you should speak about the liposomal C and basically how important it is. There's different variations of it. We may not be able to have access to it, but it's possible that you may have it at home, and then you can be sure to take the right form of vitamin C. There's different forms of it.
Yeah, so when it comes to supplements, there are the better forms of supplements that come from food. They're not synthetic versions of vitamins.
Yeah.
And so just like we were talking about vitamin C, the ascorbic acid,
Yeah.
we were saying how if you take too much of it and you're not used to it, that extra acidity or all that vitamin C could give you an upset stomach,
Yeah.
heartburn, and even diarrhea, which mimics some of the symptoms associated with the COVID-19,
Yeah.
which could really make you worried.
Yeah.
So when you think of vitamin C, if you have access to it, if you can order it, because I know orders are still being taken,
Yeah.
mail is still being delivered, and if we're going to be at home for a while, you can order what's called liposomal C.
Yeah.
Now it's your ascorbic acid, the vitamin C, and it's rolled into a fat molecule, and that protects it from the stomach and the gastric system, so it bypasses that right into the intestines to be absorbed
Properly.
into the bloodstream, and it's a slow absorption C, it also might be called.
Yeah.
And by getting the right milligrams in, but having it slowly absorbed and pass the stomach system, you won't get that heartburn and possibly diarrhea that would give you more anxiety.
Right. Yeah, that's important. I mean, just again, liposomal C. It's something that people maybe don't realize that they're taking. They may have it at home, but it's something that you can look for. The mail is going out, like you said, and it's a better version of it. It's a version that it won't upset your stomach as much, and your body will absorb it better. So that's a better option for vitamin C. And I think we've touched on a lot. I mean, we got the vitamin C, we've got the vitamin D.
Well, let's talk more about the emotional components to vitamin D.
Yeah.
So vitamin D has been really popular over the last couple of years. We've heard a lot of talk about it and how D levels are very important, not only for the immune system, but also for our emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Those found with low D levels are susceptible to getting sick, their immune system isn't functioning well, but also at low D levels, you see people suffering a little bit more with some depression.
I find that, it's interesting because, with TCM, we know sadness is related to the lungs. It's like if you think of sighing, that comes from the lung, it's like a sign of sadness or depression. That's lung functionality. And in TCM, we make that association. But vitamin D actually affects our respiration, and it affects our lung function in general and our cardiovascular health. So part of that is it boosts the immune system because it strengthens the lung function, but then it also can help with issues like depression or anxiety or sadness because it's improving our lung function, which is going to improve our circulation, which is going to improve our overall health and well-being. And it boosts the immune systems as well as boosting our emotional health. So I think vitamin D3 is an important component to anyone's general diet, but again, we'll have to get into it a little bit later, but the D3 is not good on its own without the magnesium. So that's something we can get
You bring
into,
up a really
but
good point right
yeah.
there. Is we're talking about all these isolated vitamins, minerals, and supplements,
right.
where sometimes the best thing you can be doing is taking a supplement that has a portion of each already built in.
Yeah.
So, of course, your multivitamin is excellent to be taking.
Yep.
And then if you're putting on these individual supplements, sometimes if you see a D supplement, it's already D3, magnesium, and calcium
Yes.
all rolled into one.
That's the most ideal.
And now those proportions are already in there correctly, so you don't take too much or too little of one, and so that they have a synergistic response within
That's
the
right.
body and get into your bloodstream correctly,
Yeah.
and you won't have any upset stomach.
Yeah. And it's also important for bone health, for lung functionality, for our circulation, and immune function. So it's just having a supplement that contains that magnesium and the D3. That to me is a great option for boosting your health, addressing the emotional factor, and basically ensuring that you're going to survive this indoor shut-in for, we don't know how long it's going to go on for, but we'll see.
Now, if you're like me, you have a lot of supplements at home that you might have collected over the years.
Sure.
I don't know about you, but I, being in this field, trying out different products and brands and just trying to optimize my health over the years, I have dozens and dozens of supplements that are sent to me. I've tried, I've taken for a while, but then I forgot about and then stopped taking.
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
I'm like, hey, maybe I should revisit some of these and start trying a bunch.
Yeah.
That could be well intentioned, but check some expiration
I was
dates
going
on
to
there.
say, make sure they're not expired.
Because I've been going through the cabinet, and some of them are well past due.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that they kind of brown,
Yeah.
right? Especially some more of the natural supplements. They don't have those preservatives in there. And so you'll see that they don't quite look right.
Right.
Do yourself the favor
Just toss them.
and not take those.
Yeah.
Okay? You might want to
Well,
throw
that's
them
the
out.
spring cleaning. Okay, we're gonna get into spring cleaning. Spring clean your medicine cabinet as well. Don't take any old supplements. Don't get overwhelmed. And
Do you have
start-
any spring cleaning tips, getting away from supplements and back into
I'm an organization maniac.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What have you been throwing out?
Honestly, I have a theory that if I haven't used it in the last 6 months, I get rid of it.
6 months.
I do 6 months. If I haven't used it in 6 months, unless it's something obviously like, I don't know, rakes or something. Certain things are just integral. You keep. But general stuff like around the house, if I don't use it for 6 months and I realize it's just collecting dust, I get rid of it. I'm not.
What
I'm
have
a
you
minimalist.
pitched? What did you get rid of?
I do it all the time. Clothing, old whatever, anything.
That's a good one. The clothing aspect.
Yeah, every season. There's no point in holding on to it. If it's like every 6 months. If I'm not using it, if it's just collecting dust, I get rid of it. Otherwise, we're ending up with buying storage and everything else. And, it's just a good theory for me. But this is the time of year many people are finally getting into spring cleaning, and this is the time. Spring clean your medicine cabinet as well. Don't take old supplements. Don't get desperate. We'll see through this in time. Just be patient about it,
Those of us who can get outdoors, a lot of us have backyards we can still get out into.
Yeah.
I know that even though we have to stay away from people, we can still utilize the outdoor space that we currently have, isolated from others.
Yeah.
So now is the time to get out there, maybe start thinking about some garden planning.
Yeah.
If you have pets, get them out in the yard extra.
Yeah.
If you have a shed in the back, get that organized,
cleaning for
clean
that
that
too.
out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I find a few patients have mentioned going out into the state parks and stuff. In Suffolk County, we have a lot of that, and there's enough land out there that people can go out, go for a little hike, come back home, and be all right. But who's to say?
Unfortunately, we're not able to use those
Yeah.
in this current date today. We're not able to go to those parks.
Oh, that's
so I know that was a recent update, and so if you do have a common area that you can use by yourself,
Yeah,
if
at
you
home.
do have a backyard.
So,
Things of that nature is a good time to check out that outdoor space.
yeah, definitely. This is an opportunity to fix up the backyard too. But if you have things going on, long treatments and everything else.
Don't forget about the attic.
Yeah, well, gosh.
We have some of those opaque containers in there that we haven't looked at in a while. So
Spring cleaning from top to bottom.